Okay, I am audible. All of you view my screen.
Yes, sir.
Screen दिसते सगळ्यांना? ओके. आवाज येतोय?
हो सर.
ओके. Okay, we will start. Okay, first of all, we will consider that first chapter. In that first chapter, which are the important questions in that? Okay, ask in an exam. All of you, I am audible.
Yes, sir.
आवाज येतोय माझा?
हो येतोय सर.
हॅलो, आवाज येतोय माझा?
येतोय सर.
हो येतोय.
ओके, क्लिअर आहे. ओके. जर आवाज मध्ये ब्रेक झाला तर मला अपडेट करा. Okay, in that first chapter, which are the important questions in that? Okay, the first question is the features of the 8086. Okay, we know about this question asked in exam for the 2 marks or the 4 marks. Which are the features of the 8086? In that features, we are learning about the what are the actual 8086 works. What is the use of 8086? Why we are using the 8086? That's why we are using this question in exam. This is the most probable question in exam for the 2 or the 4 marks. What is the features of the 8086? In that, it is a 16-bit microprocessor. It is a normal, we know about the 16-bit microprocessor because we are working on the 8-bit and 16-bit. 16 bits means that is the 0101 format. We are working on the DW, that is the defined word, that is the 16-bit microprocessor. That's why we are known about the this is the 16-bit microprocessor. We are working on a 8-bit and 16-bit. 8-bit means a DB and 16 bits means a DW. DB means a defined byte and DW means a defined word. Okay, we know about the 8-bit 16-bit microprocessor. Okay, it has a two blocks, that is the BIU and EU. We are learn about in a block diagram. That is the BIU is a basic interface unit and EU is a execution unit. That is the block diagram is the divided into two parts, that is the BIU and EU. Okay, in that is the 16-bit register. We are using the that is the sum of the general purpose register and some of the special purpose register. In that general purpose register, we are working on the AH, BH, CH, DH, AX, BX, CX, DX. Okay, we know about and AL, BL, CL, DL. AL, AH, BL, BH, CL, CH, and DL, DH. We know about the this is the 8-bit register. That is the AL means a accumulator lower. That is the lower bit register. The data is stored in a 0 to 7 format, and AH is a higher bit register. Data is stored in a that is the D8 to D16 format. Okay, D8 to D16 level. Okay, and AX, BX, CX is the all the D0 to D7, D15, all the A0, AD0 to AD15 data is stored. That is the 16-bit register, AX, BX, CX, and DX. Okay, there are the two modes, that is the minimum and maximum modes. Okay, that is the also if this question is asked in exam for the 4 marks, you want to write only the 6 point. Okay, that is the it is a 16-bit microprocessor. It has a two blocks, BIU, EU. It has a special purpose and general purpose register. These are the register AX, BX, CX, DX. Okay, It has a multiplex address and data bus, means that is the 80 to 19. Okay, that is the address and data and address and data. Okay, also it is a work on a minimum and maximum mode. It provides separate instruction for the string manipulation. That is the string manipulation instruction. Which are the string manipulation instructions? Yes, anyone knows which are the string manipulation instructions? Yes, it is enough, but suppose one point is wrong, that's why you will get the 3 marks. That's why you want to write the 6 point for the 4 mark question every time. If the question asked in a 4 marks, that time you want to write the minimum 6 point, because this is the simple point. Okay, this is the simple point, that is a 8086 microprocessor. Okay, it is a
Okay.
it requires plus 5-volt power supply. 8086 IC contains the 40 pins. We know about that. This is the 4 marks or 2 marks question repeatedly asked in exam. Okay, that is the first chapter. In that, second is a pin description. Okay, in that pin description, any two pins are asked in an exam. Any two pins for the 2 marks, not a 4 marks. That is the any two pins. That is the repeatedly this question asked in exam. Explain any two types of pin. This is the, yes, I will share the screen. Use proper names before joining this meeting. Use the proper names. Okay, that is the your names. This is the summer winter 23 exam. This types of question asked in exam. Okay, which are the pins asked in exam? That is the state the use of minimum and maximum pin. That is the MN and MX bar. Okay, that is the minimum and maximum. This perform the minimum and maximum operations. Okay, this pin asked in exam. These are the pins, pin diagram. Short, I will explain this. That is the, what is the use of this pin diagram? Okay, that is the pin diagram. This pin diagram not asked in exam. Only the pins are asked in exam. Any two types of pins asked in exam. That is the GND is a ground pin. That is the pin number 20, and pin number 1. It is a ground pin. That is the ground pin means you are using as a earthing pin. Okay, that is the ground pin. Pin number 1 and pin number 20. And second is a pin number 15 to pin number 2. Okay, that is the AD1 and AD14. AD1 means address and data bus. A for A stands for the address and D stands for the data. That is the AD0 to AD14, pin number 16 to 2 pin number. That is the when the pin is a active low signal. Active low signals means that is the 0. That times the data will be passed. Okay, these signals are the active high signals. Okay, when the pin is a active, that is the ALE pin is a 1, this carry the address. When a 1 means a high, that times if the pin passing the data, passing the address, that is that time the pin is a high. And when the pin is a 0, that time the pin is a passing the data. That is the active and active high and active low. Active high means a 1 and active low means a 0. Okay, for the 2 marks you want to write only the 2 points. That is the if question asked in exam, explain AD0 to AD14. AD0 to AD14, the pin is a working on a, that is the first of all you know about the name. A stands for the address and D stands for the data. When the pin is a active high signals or pin is the 1, that time the pin is a passing the date, passing the address. And when the pin is a 0, that time passing the data. Okay, this is the sufficient point for the 2 marks. Okay, the pin number is a pin number 40 is a VCC. that is the VCC is a power supply, the plus 5 volt, the power supply is a plus 5 volt. And pin number 39 to pin number 35, that is the AD15, AD16, AD17, AD18 and AD19. Okay, that is the address and data bus. S3, that is the signal status. S3, S4, S5 and S6, that is the signal status, when the pin is active high or when the pin is active low, that is the status signal on that. Pin number 34 is a VHE bar or S7. Okay, BHE bar or the S7. The BHE bar stands for the bus high enable and S7 is a status signal. The BHE bar means when the pin is a active low signal, that time the pin is a BHE bar signal, and when the pin is a active high signal, that time transfer the S7 data. That is the status signal. Okay, that is the pin number 32 is a RD bar. RD bar means that is the read data. Okay, that is the read when the pin is active low signal, that times the read the data from that pin. 31 number pin, these are the maximum modes, okay, which are pin number 31 to pin number 24, that is the hold, HLDA hold acknowledgement, WR bar, that is the write operation, M/IO bar, that is the memory or input output operation, DT, that is the data transfer, /R bar, that is the receive, data is receive, DEN, that is the data enable, ALE, that is the active latch enable, INTA, that is the interrupt acknowledgement, TEST, that is the test condition, 22, that is the ready condition, 21, that is the reset condition. Pin number 31 to pin number 24, that is the maximum mode operations. And similarly in that pin, that is the pin number 31 to pin number 24 is a minimum mode operation. That is the similarly on that pin, that is the maximum mode signal, that is the RQ bar, GT bar, RQ bar, GT1 bar, lock. These are the only theoretical part. When the bar is a bar on that pin, that is that time the pin is a active low signals, mean the zero is a pass from that pin, and when the pin is a one or not bar, that time the pin is a active high signal. Okay, these are the normal description of that pin. Any two pins asked in exam for the 2 marks. This is the block diagram of that pin. Similarly, this block diagram asked in exam for the 4 marks or the 6 marks. Okay, various times asked in exam for the 4 marks. Draw the block diagram of the 8086. Wait. In that block diagram, the two parts, that is divided into two parts, that is the BIU and EU. That is the BIU stands for the bus interface unit and EU is the execution unit. In that is the execution unit, that is the AHAL, that is the general purpose registers used for the execution unit. Suppose we are doing the programming in that 8086, we are using these types of general purpose registers. Okay, AHAL, that is the combination of AX, BHBL, that is the combination of BX, CHCL, that is the combination of CX, DHDL, that is the combination of DX, and SP, BP, SI and DI, that is the special purpose registers. Okay, SP, BP, SI and DI, that is the stack pointer, base pointer, source index and destination index. These are the every time asked in exam, explain the general purpose registers or explain the storage locations in a 8086. Okay, that is the in that execution BIU unit, that is the CS, SS, DS, ES and IP. Okay, first of all we learn about the what is the use of general purpose register. Okay, these are the general purpose register: AHAL, BHBL, CHCL, DHDL. That is the combination of AX, BX, CX and DX. Okay, that is the AHAL, that is the accumulator registers. Second is a BXBL, that is the base register. CHCL, that is the counter register, and DHDL, that is the data register. Okay, in that there is the second are the segment registers. Okay, that is the segment is a, that is location of the segments. Okay, which are the location of the segments? SI, DI, source index, destination index. Source index means the starting index of the registers. Destination index is the ending index of the register. That is the base pointer, that is the storage location pointer. Stack pointer, when we are declaring the stack, when we are using the stack operation, that when we are using the push and pop operation, that time the stack pointer will be enabled. And instruction pointer, when we are declaring the instruction, which types of instruction, that is the, suppose we are declaring the move instruction, that times we are moving the pointer to the one location to the another location. And next is a segment register. Segment registers, that is the code segment. There are the four types of segment: CS, DS, ES and SS. CS, that is the code segment. That is the every segment register have a 64k address. When we are declaring the CS, that time memory is allocated 64k to the CS register. When we are declaring the DS, that is the 64 allocation to the DS. When we are declaring the ES, that time 64k is allocated. That is the memory segmentation. That is the one type of question asked in exam, that is the memory segmentation. This type of question is also asked, explain the general purpose register. That is the 4 marks. 4 मार्कला पण हा क्वेश्चन विचारू शकता. एक्सप्लेन द जनरल पर्पज रजिस्टर or explain the special purpose register. This type of question asked in exam, also the 4 marks. Flag registers. What is use of flag register? There are the, how many types of flags? There are the 9 types of the flags. That is the 6 are the status flags and 3 are the machine control flag. Okay, suppose we are doing the process of the microprocessor, we are doing the programming in a microprocessor. That time the carry flag, parity flag, AF flag, zero flag, sign flag, overflow flag. These questions are block diagram of the flag registers asked in exam for the 2 marks. जर क्लासिफिकेशन विचारलं तर 2 मार्कला विचारतील, आणि जर एक्सप्लेनेशन विचारलं तर 4 मार्कला विचारतील. एक्सप्लेन कॅरी फ्लॅग और ऑक्सिलरी फ्लॅग. That is the block diagram of the flag register. In that, CF means a carry flag, PF, that is a parity flag, AF auxiliary flag, ZF zero flag, sign flag, trap flag, IF flag, direction flag and overflow flag. This is the no value. Okay, 6 are the status flag and 3 are the control flag, that is the machine control flags. Okay, what is the carry flag? लक्षात द्या, एक्झामला विचारू शकता, एक्सप्लेन कॅरी फ्लॅग और एक्सप्लेन पॅरिटी फ्लॅग. एक्झाम मध्ये विचारले पण भरपूर वेळेस. एक्सप्लेन द flag operations in 8086. When we are performing the, what is the carry flag? When we are performing the addition or subtraction of the 8 bit, that is the carry or borrow is generated from the MSB. MSB stands for the most significant bit, that is the D7 bit or 8 bit operation. That is the D7 in a 8 bit operation, and D15, that is the 16 bit operation. What is the 8 bit and 16 bit operation? Anyone? काय असतं 8 bit and 16 bit operation? Yes, all of you, I am audible. आवाज येतोय का माझा? Yes. What is the 8-bit and 16-bit operation? Yes, I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
येतोय ना आवाज?
Yes, sir.
8-bit or 16-bit operation, which assembler directives we are using for the 8-bit operation?
DB,
And which assembler directive you are using for the 16-bit operation?
BW.
DW,
DW.
Okay, माहिती आहे सगळ्यांना? Next, when we are performing the addition or subtraction, that is the carry or borrow generated for the D7 in a 8-bit operation, and in 16-bit operation, that is the D15 level, then the carry flag is set. That is the set means that is the CF is equal to 1, otherwise CF is equal to 0. In that parity flag, the flag is set. The lower byte of the result contains the even number, otherwise it will reset. When we are performing the operation, that is the addition subtraction, the lower byte result, that is the contain the even number, that is the even number असेल तर तो काय होतो, सेट होतो, आणि ऑड नंबर असेल तर रिसेट होतो, that is the PF. And auxiliary flag, when carry is generated from the D3 to D4 bit to the higher nibble. D3 किंवा D4 बीटला जेव्हा कॅरी जनरेट होतो, that times the auxiliary flag is set. Okay, and zero flag, when we are performing the operation, the resultant result is a 0, that time the carry flag is set, otherwise it is reset. Sign flag, when we are performing the addition or addition of the subtraction, and when the result is a negative number, that is the sign number means a negative number, the that time the carry sign flag is set, otherwise it will reset. Okay, and overflow flag, when we are doing the operation of the sign number and the minimum resultant result is a larger, that time the overflow flag is set. And these are the control flag, that is the trap flag, interrupt flag, and direction flag. Okay, next is the important question, the concept of the pipeline. That is the every time this exam also ask in the exam for the 4 marks, what is the concept of the pipeline, कंपल्सरी विचारला जातो, आणि यावेळेस पण विचारणार आहे, what is in the pipeline. Okay, when we are fetching the next instruction while the current instruction is executing is called as a pipelining. Okay, जेव्हा आपण एखादी एक्झिक्युशन वर्क करतोय, त्याच्याबरोबर आपण दुसरी इन्स्ट्रक्शन पण वर्किंग कंडिशन मध्ये आहे आपली, फेच करतोय, दॅट टाइम्स द पाइपलाइनिंग इज अ प्रोसेस. देयर आर दी 2 टाइप्स ऑफ पाइपलाइनिंग. बघा, that is the serial and parallel pipelining. Serial means that is the first is a figure A is a serial pipelining. That is the when we are performing the fetch, after that we are performing the decode, and after that we are performing the execute. Fetch first of all आपण काय करतो, फेच करतो सिरियल पाइपलाइनिंग मध्ये, नंतर डिकोड करतो, नंतर एक्झिक्यूट करतो. दे रिक्वायर द 3 clock cycles, that is the 1 2 3. After that executing the first instruction, the next instruction will be fetch, decode, and execute. असं 3 times आपल्याला करावं लागतो. Every instruction have a 1 clock cycle in a serial pipelining. This disadvantage is overcome in a 8086 microprocessor. In that 8086 microprocessor, when we are fetching the first instruction, that times when we are decoding the first instruction, that time fetching the next instruction. After that, when we are executing the first instruction, that time we are decoding the second instruction and fetching the third instruction. This is the parallel processing. That's why that is the first in a introduced in a 8086 microprocessor. That is the first introduced in a 8086 microprocessor, and these are the advantages of the 8086 microprocessor. हा क्वेश्चन एक्झाम मध्ये भरपूर विचारला जाता. एक्सप्लेन द पाइपलाइनिंग in a 8086. Explain द पाईपलाईनिंग इन 8086 विथ ॲडव्हान्टेजेस. ॲडव्हान्टेजेस मध्ये पण विचारलं जातं का पाईपलाईनिंगचे फीचर्स काय आहे आणि एक्सप्लेन विथ ॲडव्हान्टेजेस. ओके, these are the advantages. What is the advantages? More efficient use of processor. Okay, this is the efficient use of processor, quicker time of execution of the large instruction. Large instruction आपण fastly execute करू शकतो 8086 मध्ये. In short, pipelining eliminates the waiting time of EU and speeds up the processing. सगळ्यात इम्पॉर्टंट आहे टाइम कन्झ्युमिंग अँड स्पीड ऑफ द प्रोसेसर. दीज आर द टू ॲडव्हान्टेजेस, टाइम कन्झ्युमिंग अँड स्पीड ऑफ द processor. These are the advantages of the pipeline. Okay, this is the when we are executing the first instruction, that time fetching the next instruction is called as a pipelining, and these are the advantages of the pipelining. Okay, these are the memory this is the pipelining process. Okay, that is the executing fetching. Okay, that is the important question asked in exam for the 4 marks. सगळ्यात इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन आहे आणि यावेळेस पण विचारणार एक्झाम मध्ये का एक्सप्लेन द पाईपलाईनिंग. काय डाऊट याच्यामध्ये? येस, एनीवन हॅव अ डाऊट? नो, कॅन वी प्रोसीड? Can we move further?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is a memory segmentation. Okay, that is the memory segmentation. This is also important part asked in exam for the 4 marks or the 6 marks. What is the memory segmentation? Memory segmentation is a allocation of the memory to the particular data. When we are doing the program, that time we are allocating the memory to the particular segments. That is it is a 8086 available in a physical memory space. When we are storing some types of data, that is the memory allocated to the data. That is the when we are declaring the data segment, code segment, that is the memory allocation to the data. इथं बघा डायग्राम मध्ये when we are declaring, आपण एकदा प्रोग्राम करताना आपण काय करतो, डेटा सेगमेंट, कोड सेगमेंट, एक्स्ट्रा सेगमेंट आणि स्टॅक सेगमेंट डिक्लेअर करतो. when we are declaring the data segment, that times the memory is allocated a space that is to the 64 kb. Each and every segment have a 64 kb data, and each segment have its own address. प्रत्येक सेगमेंटचा त्याचा सेपरेट ऍड्रेस असतो आणि प्रत्येकाला मेमरी लोकेशन असतं 64 kb. when we are declaring the data, that time the data segment is declared in your program, that is the memory, that is the allocated space to the 64 kb, and data segment, that starting address and the top address and ending address is a separate. Every segment have its own address. Every segment has its own address. That is the view in a diagram. That is the baga data segment 64 kb, 2000 to 20,000 h and 2ff. That is the separate address. This is a code segment defined. When we are declaring the dot code, that time the separate 64 kb memory allocation and the code segment address is a separate starting address and ending address. When we are declaring the dot stack, that time the separate code segment, separate address, starting address and ending address. When we are declaring the dot extra, that time the separate address. Okay, that is the memory segmentation. दोन टाईपच्या याच्यामध्ये असतं बघा मेमरी सेगमेंटेशन मध्ये. मेमरी, इट इज अ अवेलेबल फिजिकल मेमरी, दॅट इज स्पेस इज अ 1 MB बाईट. द फिजिकल मेमरी इज डिवाइडेड इंटू डिफरंट लॉजिकल सेगमेंट अँड ईच सेगमेंट हॅज इट्स ओन बेस ऍड्रेस. जसं की इथं दाखवलं बघा, प्रत्येक सेगमेंटचा हा बेस ऍड्रेस असतो, सेपरेट स्टार्टिंग ऍड्रेस आणि एंडिंग ऍड्रेस. या ऍड्रेसने आपण काय करू शकतो, आयडेंटिफाय करू शकतो का वेअर डेटा इज स्टोर्ड. द फिजिकल मेमरी ऍड्रेस बघा, the physical memory address is divided into 4 segments, that is namely data segment, code segment, stack segment and extra segment. Each segment is 64 kbytes and addressed by one segment register. प्रत्येकाचा एक सेपरेट रजिस्टर कोड असतो, that is the starting address and ending address. That is called as a memory segmentation. एक्झाम मध्ये जर मेमरी सेगमेंटेशन विचारलं तर कंपल्सरी डायग्राम आली पाहिजे. कंपल्सरी ही डायग्राम आली पाहिजे, दॅट इज द मेमरी सेगमेंटेशनची, आणि हे एक्सप्लेनेशन आलं पाहिजे, दॅट इज द हे इथं पण हे आलं पाहिजे 64 KB, because each segment have its own memory, that is the 64 KB, and the own address, that is the starting address and the ending address, bottom of extra segment and top of extra segment, सेपरेट प्रत्येकाचं आलं पाहिजे मेमरी सेगमेंटेशन मध्ये. एक्झाम मध्ये पण विचारलं आहे मेमरी सेगमेंटेशन, एक्सप्लेन द मेमरी सेगमेंटेशन इन डिटेल. तर बघा 6 मार्क्सचा क्वेश्चन आहे, एक्झाम मध्ये 6 मार्कला विचारला जातो. डिस्क्राईब मेकॅनिझम ऑफ जनरेटिंग द फिजिकल ऍड्रेस. हाऊ टू जनरेट द फिजिकल ऍड्रेस. बघा, हाऊ टू कॅल्क्युलेट द फिजिकल ऍड्रेस. ऑल ऑफ यू नो दॅट हाऊ टू कॅल्क्युलेट द फिजिकल ऍड्रेस. बघा, हा थेरेटिकल पार्ट आहे. हाऊ टू जनरेट थेरेटिकल पार्ट, दॅट इज द लॉजिकल ऍड्रेस अँड फिजिकल ऍड्रेस, ऑफसेट ऍड्रेस. आणि इथं बघा, कॅल्क्युलेट द फिजिकल ऍड्रेस ऑफ द गिवन नंबर. कंपल्सरी एक्झाम मध्ये 2 मार्क्सला विचारला होता, किंवा डायरेक्टली पूर्ण प्रोसेस विचारली. ही प्रोसेस विचारली, एक्सप्लेन द फिजिकल ऍड्रेस जनरेशन प्रोसेस, दॅट इज द थेरेटिकल पार्ट अँड द मॅथमॅटिकल पार्ट्स फॉर द 6 मार्क्स. कोणता पण एक कोड दिलेला असतो, कॅल्क्युलेट द फिजिकल ऍड्रेस फॉर द गिवन. CS इक्वल टू 3525H, IP इज इक्वल टू 2455H. CS आपण राईट डाऊन करतो 3525H आणि इम्प्लाइड विथ झिरो ऍड करतो CS च्या. असा कंपल्सरी नाही का CS पाहिजे, तिथे SS पण असू शकतो, ES पण असू शकतो, किंवा कोणताही सेगमेंट असू शकतो. त्या सेगमेंटच्या एंडिंगला आपण काय करतो, 0 ऍड करतो आणि त्याच्यामध्ये हा नंबर घेतो 2455. इथं घेतला, पहिला नंबर सोडून द्यायचा आणि शेवटचा नंबर 2455. ओके, इथं 5 प्लस 0 दॅट इज द 5, 5 प्लस 5 दॅट इज द 10. 10 is represented in a hexadecimal number, that is the A. 4 plus 2 6, 5 plus 2 7 and 3 as it is, that is the physical address of this number is a 376A5H. H is a, that is the extension of the hexadecimal number. ओके, असं कोणता पण नंबर इथं बघा, इथं पण दिलाय DS आणि AH. H इज अ हेक्साडेसिमल नंबर, हा H कन्सिडर नाही करायचा. H इज अ हेक्साडेसिमल नंबर, हा H कन्सिडर करतो. ऍक्च्युअल व्हॅल्यू इज अ 3455A and 13DC. ओके, 3458 plus 13DC and the actual what is the resultant result is a 3597C and H is a hexadecimal number. ओके, दिस इज द फिजिकल ऍड्रेस जनरेशन प्रोसेस. एक्झाम मध्ये विचारता, एक्झाम मध्ये जर विचारला फिजिकल ऍड्रेस जनरेशन, एक्सप्लेन द फिजिकल ऍड्रेस जनरेशन प्रोसेस, जर होल प्रोसेस विचारली विथ थेरटिकल, दिस क्वेश्चन आस्क इन एक्झाम फॉर दी 6 मार्क्स. अँड ओनली द न्यूमेरिकल विचारलं, एक्सप्लेन नंबर दिला असेल CS किंवा DS विचारला तर तो विचारू शकता, दॅट इज द 2 मार्क्स. ओके, इम्पॉर्टन्स इन दॅट फर्स्ट चॅप्टर इज अ, दॅट इज अ फर्स्ट इज अ 8086 चे features of the 8086, 4 marks, pipelining 4 marks, memory segmentation 4 marks, and physical address generation process. If numerical ask in exam, that is the 2 marks, and whole the process how to generate the physical address, that is the 6 marks. Okay, that is the first chapter is a, I think 14 marks. Okay, हे क्वेश्चनचं फर्स्ट चॅप्टरचं आहे, that is the first chapter. Yes, anyone have a doubt in that first chapter? काही डाऊट आहे का फर्स्ट चॅप्टर मध्ये? Yes, any doubt? Okay. फर्स्ट चॅप्टर वरती आपण काय काय क्वेश्चन विचारले तेवढे बघू आपण फक्त. All of you screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The first question asked in a, that is the winter 2023 exam, winter 23 examination question paper. The first question asked in exam for the 2 marks, state the use of minimum and maximum mode and taste signal. Okay, that is the first chapter. Second question asked in exam for the first chapter, draw the format of the flag register of the 8086 for the 2 marks. Only draw the format, okay, with proper syntaxes. That is the proper syntaxes, the flow of the classification of the format of the 8086, okay, flag register. Okay, next is a pin ask in exam, ready pin, ALE pin. Ready pin and ALE pin ask in exam, that is the ready, ALE, taste and DEN bar. Okay, ready, that is the when we are performing the all the perform reset condition, after that reset condition we are ready. That is ALE, when the pin is a active high signal, that time the ALE address latch enable. That is the test bar, that is the when we are performing the pin is a active low signal, when that is the bar, that is the active low signal. And DEN bar, when the data enable, when the pin is a active low signal, because this is the bar. When bar comes in a pin, this is the active low signal, and when bar is not coming that pin, that is the active high signal. Okay, okay, okay. This question asked in exam, draw and explain model of the assembly language programming for the 4 marks. What is the model of the assembly language programming? This is the model of the assembly language programming. Programmers model for the 8086, that is the general purpose register AHAL CH BHBL CHCL DHDL. Okay, and this is the special purpose register, and this is the flag register. These are the normal model of the assembly language program. This is the one type of the twisted question, draw and explain assembly language programming. Assembly language, what is the assembly language programming? This is the format of the assembly language programming model. When we are doing the assembly language programming, that time we are using the this general purpose register, special purpose register and flag registers. Okay, in that you want to write that why we are using the AX, BX, CX, DX, and why we are using the AL, BL, CL, DL, AH, BH, CH, DH. Okay, only that. AX is a use for the storing the 16-bit value, AX, BX, CX, DX, AH, BL, BH, CH, DL, DH we are using for the higher bit 8-bit, and AL, BL, CL, DL is used for the storing the lower 8-bit. Okay, this question every time asked in exam, describe the memory segmentation in 8086. Why we are using the memory segmentation? This is the diagram of the memory segmentation. Okay, okay. This question asked in exam: define the logical and effective address. Describe how 20-bit physical address generated in 8086 if CS is equal to 348H and IP is calculate the physical address. Okay, this physical address generation process asked in exam for the 6 marks. How to generate the physical address? Okay, 2 marks for the explanation of generation of the physical address. Second is a calculation of the physical address, 2 marks. And next is a explanation of the general physical address, that is the 2 marks. That is we, every times we are using the 2 marks, that is the 6 mark question. Okay, 2 marks for the explanation, definition, 2 marks for the physical and address generation calculation.
Sir, I am having one doubt. Hello.
Okay, this question also asked in a previous question paper. Draw the functional block diagram of the 806 with all labels, that is the block diagram. Block diagram, memory segmentation and pipelining is the most important concept in a first chapter. First chapter madla most important concept, that is the first is a pipelining, second is a memory segmentation, and third is a block diagram, and fourth is a 8086 features. Okay, हे एवढे 4 पॉइंट तुम्हाला कंपल्सरी करावेच लागतील फर्स्ट चॅप्टर मध्ये तुम्हाला मार्क्स पाडायचे असतील तर. दिस इज द ब्लॉक डायग्राम.
Sir, programs are repeated or not?
सेकंड चॅप्टर बघू आपण. All of your screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second chapter is also near about the 20 marks chapter. Okay, in that first important question is a state the steps involved in a program development, which suppose we are doing the programming in any language, which steps involved in a programming. First is a understanding the problem or defining the problem. Which problem? Read carefully. The first step is writing the program, to think very carefully about the problem that the program must solve. Suppose in exam you want to ask the write the assembly language program for the addition of the two numbers, but think that which number, that is the 8-bit or 16-bit. आयडेंटिफाय द प्रॉब्लेम और डिफाइनिंग द प्रॉब्लेम. प्रॉब्लेम पहिले अंडरस्टँड करून घ्यायचं का कोणता क्वेश्चन विचारला एक्झाम मध्ये, दॅट इज द 16-bit और 8-bit. जर विचारला 8-bit and if you are writing the 16-bit you will get the 0 marks. Okay, जर असं विचारलं आहे राईट ओनली द 8-bit प्रोग्राम फॉर ओनली द ऍडिशन ऑफ द प्रोग्राम. जर 8-bit आणि 16-bit विचारलंय तर कोणता पण राईट केला तरी चालतं, बट ऍक्च्युअली मेन्शन आहे त्याच्यामध्ये 16-bitच पाहिजे तर 16-bitच पाहिजे, 8-bit पाहिजे तर 8-bit पाहिजे. दॅट इज द डिफाइनिंग द प्रॉब्लेम first step. That is also important question in an exam. Algorithm. Before that, writing the algorithm, formula or sequence of the operation to be performed by the program can be specified as the steps in a general English is called as algorithm. Algorithm is a sequence of operation, which operations you are performing before writing the program. Okay, that is the algorithm. Flowchart is a graphical representation of the program. There are the some symbols, flowchart symbols used: the process, input, output, decision, subroutine, start, or connector. Okay. Next is a initialization or checklist. In that checklist, before that writing the program, you will create a checklist: which variables you are using in that program, which instructions you are using in that program. Before that writing, check that which instruction is a faster to execute our program. That is the initialization of the checklist. Before that, creating the checklist of that program and choosing the instructions in that. Suppose you are writing addition of the two 8-bit program, you are writing the 2 to 8 line, and someone is writing the only the 2 lines program. That is the better. That is the 2-line program is the better, because we are programs execution is a faster. Okay. And next is a converting algorithm to the assembly language programming. That is the some steps are involved in that program development. First is the defining the problem, second is the algorithm, third is a flowchart, fourth is the initialization checklist, five is a choosing instruction, and six is a converting algorithm. This question asked in exam for the 2 marks or the 4 marks. If in exam ask only the list the steps involved in a program development, you want to write only the steps. Okay, defining the problem algorithm. And if the question asked in exam for the 4 marks, you for explain the steps involved in the program development, you want to write all the details: what is the defining the problem, what is the algorithm, what is the flowchart, what is the initialization checklist, what is the choosing instruction, what is the converting algorithm. Okay, this is the normal understanding. Next question is also important: list and explain assembly language programming tools. Okay, that is the ALP tools. Which tools are used performing the assembly language programming? First is a editor, second is a assembler, linker, and debugger. Editor is edit the programmer, assembler is assembling the object file, linker is creating the linking file, that is the object file, and debugger, that is the execution of the program. Okay, in that this question asked in exam also for the 2 marks or 4 marks. If asked in exam for the 2 marks, list the assembly language programming tools. You want to list only the editor, assembler, linker, and debugger. Okay. If asked in exam, explain the assembly language programming tool, that time you want to explain what is the editor. Editor is a, it is a program which is used to construct assembly language program in required format, so that assembler is easy to convert into machine language. Assembler, that is the linking, or suppose you are executing the TASM file, that is the when we are opening the TASM, and when we want to open the file, that time we are using the edit space file name. When we want to execute the file, that is we are using the TASM space file name. Source file creating, that is the assembler. Linker is a object file, that is the exe, and debugger is the execution of the program. Okay, that is a td space, that is a table data. Okay, these are the 2 points, that is the confusion is program development steps and दुसरं कोणतं आहे टूल्स यूज इन असेंब्ली लँग्वेज प्रोग्रामिंग. प्रोग्राम डेव्हलपमेंट स्टेप्स मध्ये येतं अल्गोरिदम, फ्लो चार्ट, initialization checklist. Okay, converting to the assembly language programming. These are the program development steps. And tools for the execution, which are the tools? Tools are the editor, compiler, editor, linker, compiler, assembler. These are the, or debugger. These are the tools used in assembly language programming. Okay. Next is a, that is a assembler directives. This is the important part. This question asked in exam for the 6 marks. Explain assembler directives in a 8086. There are the 3 types of directives used in that. Which are the directives? First is a data definition and storage allocation, second is a program organization directives, and third is a value returning attributes. Fourth is a definition, procedure definition directives, macro definition directives, data control directives, branching directives, and file inclusion directives. These are the directives used in assembly language programming. First is a data definition, which are allocation of the data definition and storage allocation. In that, db, dt, db, dw, dd, dq, dt, struct, record, eq, org, align, even, and left. याच्यातून काय होऊ शकतं, एनी 4 टाइप्स ऑफ डेटा डिरेक्टिव्ह, एनी 6 असं पण येऊ शकतं एक्झाम मध्ये. कोणतं पण एक क्वेश्चन विचारलं होतं, 4 मार्क्स आर द 6 मार्क्स. बीबी इज द डिफाईन बाईट used to store the 8-bit value. DW is used to store, it is stands for the defined word used to store 16-bit value. DD is a काय define double word, that is the 62-bit value, and DQ, that is the defined quad, that is the 64-bit value, 32-bit. Define DT का है, define 10 byte, that is the you want to declare a 10-bit value, that time you are using the DT. Struct, record, EQ, that is the equate value, ORG, originate, align, even, and lay value. कोणते पण आपण 6 एक्सप्लेनेशन आपल्याला करू शकतो आपण त्याच्यामध्ये. लिंक शेअर केलेली आहे, अटेंडन्स लिंक. 11:30 पर्यंत स्टार्ट राहणार अटेंडन्स लिंक. थोडी अटेंडन्स लिंक भरून टाकायची सगळ्यांनी. कोणते पण 6, आणि याच्यामध्ये आता हे माहिती आहे डिफाईन डीडी, डीबी, डीक्यू, डीटी, डीडी. ओके, आता याच्यामध्ये स्ट्रक्ट आहे बघा, स्ट्रक्ट directives. This directive used to declare data type variable, which is a collection of the primary data types. When you want to declare a combination of the db, dw, and dt, आपण एका कॉम्बिनेशन मध्ये डेटा टाइप डिक्लेअर करायचे, that is the struct. We are using the struct variable, similar like C++. Struct is a combination of the collection of the different data types. Different data types कलेक्ट करून आपण काय करू शकतो, त्याच्यामध्ये मेन्शन करू शकतो, that is the collection of the different data types. When we are declaring the different combination of the db, dw, and dd, that time we are declaring the struct variable. Okay, that is the normal general form of that variable. Record, this directive is used to define a bit pattern within a byte or the word. Bit pattern मध्ये आपल्याला डेटा स्टोअर करायचा आहे, that is the bit pattern means सपोज काय असतं बीट पॅटर्न मध्ये, एका बीट मध्ये कोणता बीट एक्झिक्यूट करायचा आहे आपल्याला, त्या बीट पॅटर्न मध्ये आपण रेकॉर्ड डिरेक्टिव्ह यूज करतो. EQ directive is used to declare the micro symbols to which some constant value is assigned. मॅक्रो सिम्बॉल कशासाठी यूज करतो आपण, का सपोज काही ऑलरेडी व्हॅल्यू काय असतात, कॉन्स्टंट व्हॅल्यू मीन्स सपोज पाय व्हॅल्यू, पायची व्हॅल्यू काय, दॅट इज द पाय व्हॅल्यू इज 3.14. दॅट इज द त्या टाईपचे व्हॅल्यू आपल्याला यूज करायच्या असल्या तर त्यावेळेस आपण इक्वेट यूज करतो. दॅट इज द वी आर डिक्लेअरिंग द इक्वेट डिफाइनिंग द सम व्हॅल्यू, दॅट इज द सिम्बॉल यूज करतो आपण. दॅट इज द फॅक्टोरियल साठी यूज करायचं आहे किंवा पाय व्हॅल्यू साठी यूज करायचं. दॅट टाइम डिक्लेअरिंग द कॉन्स्टंट व्हॅल्यू इज असाइन, कॉन्स्टंट व्हॅल्यू असाइन करायची असेल तर आपल्याला, दॅट टाइम्स वी आर डिक्लेअरिंग द इक्वेट व्हेरिएबल और इक्वेट डिरेक्टिव्ह. ORG, that is the originate. The ORG assigns the location counter with a specified in the directive. It helps in placing the machine code to the specified location while translating instruction into machine codes by assembler. एखाद्या ओरिजिनेट म्हणजे लोकेशन साठी असतं, लोकेशन सेट करायचं आपल्याला. दॅट टाइम्स वी आर युजिंग द ओरिजिनेट फॉर द ओरिजिनेट सेट द लोकेशन टू द particular machine language instruction or machine codes. That time we are using the originate, ORG. अलाइन आहे, अलाइनमेंट ऑफ द ऍड्रेस. एक्झाम मध्ये काय असतं, जर तुम्हाला 6 पॉइंट दिलेले, एक्सप्लेन, ORG, EQ, असाइन, अलाइन, अज्युम असे दिले तर तेच राईट डाऊन करायचे. जर कोणते पण 6 सांगितलेले तर DB, DW, DQ ते यूज केले तरी चालतं. अलाइन, alignment of the memory address. This directive is used to force the assembler to align the next data item or instruction according to the value. DUP, भरपूर वेळेस आपण प्रोग्राममध्ये बघितलं असेल DUP, that is the duplicate memory location. This directive can be used to generate multiple bytes or words with known as well as uninitialized values. आपण बघतो याच्यात बघितलं असेंब्ली लँग्वेज प्रोग्राम, तो प्रोग्राम कोणता होता आपला, असेंडिंग अँड डिसेंडिंग मध्ये बघितलं होतं आपण. असेंडिंग अँड डिसेंडिंग मध्ये आणि मेमरी लोकेशन मध्ये प्रोग्राम स्ट्रिंगच्या याच्यात पण DUP आपण डायरेक्टली यूज करतो. दॅट इज द डुप्लिकेट मेमरी लोकेशन. डुप्लिकेट मेमरी लोकेशन क्रिएट करतं. दॅट्स आय वी आर युजिंग द एक्झाम्पल काय, टेबल, दॅट इज द नेम, directives and in bracket DUP bracket 0 create array of 100 words of all the contents data is 0. सगळ्या कंटेंटचा डेटा हा 0 आहे. किंवा क्वेश्चन मार्क जरी टाकला तरी आपण यूज करू शकतो. ओके, दीज आर द डेटा डेफिनेशन डिरेक्टिव्ह. These are the data definition directives. All of you, my voice is clear? आवाज येतोय? Yes, I am audible. Okay. Next is a program organization directives. In that program organization directive, we are using the assume. Assume is a one type of program organization directive म्हणजे जे प्रोग्रामिंग मध्ये आपण यूज करतो. Program organization directive मध्ये it tells the assembler the name of the logical segment which is used to specified segment. Assume and segment. आपण लिहितो assume code segment, assume data segment, assume extra segment, assume stack segment. That is the assume is a logical segment declaration. Okay. Second segment, the directive segment is used to indicate the beginning of the logical segment. Logical segment the beginning आहे आपण. The directives segment follows the name. म्हणजे एक्झाम्पल segment name and segment आपण डिफाइन करतो. हे आपण यूज करत नाही, आपण डायरेक्ट काय टाकतो सेगमेंट डॉट डेटा डॉट कोड आपण आतापर्यंत अशी टाकली, पण हे सेगमेंट आपण यूज करू शकतो. माय डेटा डेटा सेगमेंट, एंड डेटा आपण तसं पण कोड सेगमेंट, डेटा सेगमेंट, एक्स्ट्रा सेगमेंट असं पण आपण राईट डाऊन करू शकतो. ओनली इन अ प्रोग्राम डिरेक्टिव्ह. ENDS, that is the end of the segment. When we are using the segment, after that we want to close the segment, that is the ENDS. Okay, and end, that is the end. इथं ENDS झालेलं आहे पण इथं end आहे actually, that is the end of the program. Lastly, all the segments are closed. After that, all the execution we are writing the end, that is the end of the segment. Only we are using the end variable. Okay, end आपण directly use करतो. आता याच्यामध्ये असतं dot data, that is the data segment. In that data segment we are declaring the variables. Okay, only we are declaring the variables dot data. And dot code segment, we are writing the code in that code segment. आपण code write down करतो. Stack segment, we are declaring the stack value when we are performing the push and pop operation. That time we are using the stack operation. Dot model, that is the memory model. Which types of memory model we are using, that is the dot model आपण यूज करतो. there are the various types of models, that tiny model, small model, compact model, medium model. एक्झाम मध्ये विचारलं जातं भरपूर वेळेस, एक्सप्लेन द मेमरी मॉडेल डिक्लेरेशन. आता त्याच्यामध्ये कन्फ्युजनचं क्वेश्चन काय आहे, इन दॅट कन्फ्युजन, दॅट इज एक्सप्लेन द मेमरी सेगमेंटेशन अँड एक्सप्लेन द मेमरी मॉडेल डिक्लेरेशन फॉर द सेगमेंट. डिफरंट क्वेश्चन आहे. एक्झाम मध्ये विचारलं मेमरी मॉडेल, मेमरी सेगमेंटेशन, तर आपण हे राईट डाऊन करतो. भरपूर मुलांचं कन्फ्युजन होतो. मॉडेल डिक्लेरेशन फॉर द सेगमेंट अँड मेमरी मॉडेल फॉर द सेगमेंट. तर एक्झाम मध्ये असेल मेमरी मॉडेल फॉर द सेगमेंट आलं तर त्याच्यामध्ये काय आलं पाहिजे, 64 KB. Each segment have a 64 KB value. And memory model declaration for the segment आलं त्याच्यामध्ये आलं पाहिजे डॉट टायनी मॉडेल, डॉट स्मॉल मॉडेल, डॉट कॉम्पॅक्ट मॉडेल, डॉट मीडियम मॉडेल. आपण काय करतो, डॉट मॉडेल यूज करतो. दॅट इज द डॉट मॉडेल इज ऑल्सो यूज फॉर द smaller types of programs. Okay, that is the declaration of the इथं दिलेलं आहे बघा. When we are using this model, that tiny model, the size of the code is a greater than 64 KB. Okay, size of the data, that is 64. Small model less than 64 KB. Medium model can be more than 64 KB. Compact model less than 64 KB, and large model can be more than 64K, and huge model can be more than 64K. याच्यासाठी आपण यूज करतो, पण आपण काय करतो, डॉट मॉडेल स्मॉल आपण यूज करतो, बिकॉज वी आर युजिंग द प्रोग्राम दॅट इज 64 लेस दॅन 64 KB. आपण 64 लेस दॅन 64 KB चे प्रोग्राम आहे, दॅट्स वाय वी आर युजिंग द डॉट स्मॉल मॉडेल. व्हॅल्यू रिटर्निंग डिरेक्टिव्ह, दॅट इज द लेन डिरेक्टिव्ह. त्याच्यामध्ये सगळ्यात जास्त विचारल्यासारखं आहे डेटा डिरेक्टिव्ह विचारला होता एक्झाम मध्ये. प्रोसिजर डेफिनेशन डिरेक्टिव्ह. प्रोसिजर मध्ये आपण प्रोसिजर बघितलेली. हाऊ मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोसिजर? दॅट आर 2 टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोसिजर. ओके, नियर अँड फार प्रोसिजर. अँड विच डिरेक्टिव्ह आर यूज फॉर द प्रोसिजर? PROC, दॅट इज द स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द प्रोसिजर, अँड NP, दॅट इज द एंडिंग ऑफ द प्रोसिजर. एक्झाम मध्ये भरपूर क्वेश्चन विचारतो. PROC and NP, that is the procedure starting and procedure ending. Similar like macro मध्ये पण तसंच आहे. What is the directives of the macro? That is the macro name, and macro is the starting of the macro, and NM, that is the ending of the macro. Exam मध्ये 100% विचारणार. Explain procedure and explain macro. Why we are using the PROC and NP, or which directives we are using the procedure, that is the PROC and NP, and which directives are the used for the macro, that is the macro and NDM. Data control directives. How to control the data? There are the three types of directive. That is the public and extend. Two types of ज्याच्यामध्ये जसं आपण हे असतं आपलं public private protected. तसं these we are controlling the data using the public and extern. Extern is a directive used for the tell the assembly that the name or the labels following the directives are in a some assembly module. हे असं आपण यूज करतो, पब्लिक अँड एक्सटर्न डेटा कंट्रोल डिरेक्टिव्ह. सेकंड चॅप्टरचा इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन्स. सेकंड चॅप्टर मध्ये इम्पॉर्टन्स काय काय विचारायचं. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज अ स्टेट द स्टेप्स इन्व्हॉल्व इन अ प्रोग्राम डेव्हलपमेंट स्टेप. कंपल्सरी एक्झाम मध्ये विचारणार फॉर दी 4 मार्क्स. लिस्ट अँड एक्सप्लेन द असेंब्ली लँग्वेज प्रोग्रामिंग टूल्स फॉर दी 2 मार्क्स. हा 2 मार्क्सला विचारतील असेंब्ली लँग्वेज प्रोग्रामिंग टूल्स कोणते कोणते. आणि याच्यामध्ये मेमरी मॉडेल्स विचारतील. मेमरी मॉडेल्स फॉर सेगमेंट्स. मेमरी मॉडेल्स म्हणजे सेगमेंट्स फॉर दी डॉट टायनी मॉडेल, डॉट डेटा मॉडेल, डॉट स्मॉल मॉडेल, डॉट कॉम्पॅक्ट मॉडेल, हे मॉडेल विचारतील. आणि याच्यातून हा विचारतील एक्सप्लेन द डेटा डेफिनेशन डिरेक्टिव्ह फॉर द 6 मार्क्स. हा क्वेश्चन DB, DW, DD, DQ, DT, स्ट्रक्ट, रेकॉर्ड, EQ, ORG, अलाइन, इव्हन, याच्यामध्ये कोणते पण 6 मार्क्सला विचारतील. डेटा डेफिनेशन सगळेच करायचे, पण कंपल्सरी विचारल्यासारखे आहे क्वेश्चन. हे असे विचारले एक्झाम मध्ये पण विचारले. मागच्या याचं बघा, प्रिव्हियस क्वेश्चन पेपर मध्ये पण विचारलं आहे. मागच्या वेळेसच्या क्वेश्चन पेपर मध्ये पण विचारलंय. एक्सप्लेन द मेमरी एक्सप्लेन द डेटा डेफिनेशन डिरेक्टिव्ह, हे पण क्वेश्चन विचारलेले आहे. हे झाले सेकंड चॅप्टर. दॅट इज द फर्स्ट चॅप्टर आणि सेकंड चॅप्टरचे इम्पॉर्टन्स. ओके, आता राहिला थर्ड चॅप्टर The remaining parts of the third chapters we will continue on tomorrow. उद्या आपण काय करू, थर्ड, फोर्थ आणि फिफ्थ चॅप्टर वरचे क्वेश्चन्स बघू आणि तुम्हाला इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन पण देतो का, कोणते क्वेश्चन विचारण्यासारखे. ओके, ऑल ऑफ यू अंडरस्टँड? येस, समजलंय? अटेंडन्स लिंक शेअर केलेली आहे, अटेंडन्स लिंक भरून टाका लवकर. आणि बाकीचं रिमेनिंग पार्ट आपण सेम 10 वाजता 10 ते 12 मध्ये लेक्चर घेऊ आणि कव्हर करू. इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन्स पण, प्रोग्राम्स पण आणि बाकीचे रिमेनिंग पार्ट्स पण. ओके, fill the attendance urgently before that 11:30. Okay, thank you all of you.
Sir,
Thank you all of you. Leave the meeting.
hello.